Can I get the podium up a bit, please? Not to mind, but to heart. This is something that we all need right now, and it is something that we all need to give right now. Love. The love piece. If I speak with human eloquence and angelic ecstasy, but don't love, I'm nothing but the creaking of a rusty gate. If I speak God's word with power, revealing all his mysteries and making everything plain as day, and if I have faith that says to a mountain, jump, and it jumps, but I don't love, I'm nothing. If I give everything I own to the poor and even go to the stake to be burned as a martyr, but I don't love, I've gotten nowhere. So, no matter what I say, what I believe, what I do, I'm bankrupt without love. Love never gives up. Love cares more for others than for itself. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. Love doesn't strut, doesn't have a swelled head, doesn't force itself on others, isn't always me first, doesn't fly off the handle, doesn't keep score of the sins of others, doesn't reveal when others grovel, takes pleasure in the flowering of truth. Does take pleasure in the flowering of truth, puts up with anything, trusts God always, always looks for the best, never looks back, but keeps going to the end. Love never dies. Inspired speech will be over someday. Praying in tongues will end. Understanding will reach its limit. We know only a portion of the truth, and we say about God, and what we say about God is always incomplete. But when the complete arrives, our incompletes will be canceled. When I was an infant, at my mother's breast, I gurgled and cooed like any infant. When I grew up, I left those infant ways for good. We don't yet see things clearly. We're squinting in a fog, peering through a mist. But it won't be long before the weather clears and the sun shines bright. We'll see it all then. See it all as clearly as God sees us, knowing him directly, just as he knows us. But for right now, until that completeness, we have 3 things to do to lead us toward that consummation. Trust steadily in God. Hope unswervingly. Love extravagantly. And the best of the three is love. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oops. Thank you, Avanella, for that lovely spoken word. Love. We know that love should be all around us. Love should be part of everything that we are doing. Love is the strongest emotion that any of us have. Thank you, Avanella, for that. I want you to know that the bar is open, that food is available, and the drinks are for sale. So thank you. So you can patronize the bar as well. Our next performer is Chevron, and her spoken word is what being black means to me. Chevron.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to give you something that meant dear to me, and this is just a little reflection, a piece of me. What being black means to me. When I was a little girl, I was fascinated with the white girls on TV. Yeah, that's what I would call them. I wanted the light skin and the pretty eyes and the long straight hair. I thought to myself, God, why do I have to look like this? Dark skin, this coarse nigger hair, as they often tease me, that couldn't maintain a curl no matter how much they twist and swirled it. And these eyes that I couldn't even tell what color they were because it just all looked the same to me. And there was nothing special about them. I wanted them green eyes and blue eyes that could tell me that there was something special about me. You see, when I was a little girl, I was yet to realize my true worth, because TV had a way of telling me that what beauty looked like, and it even did a number on the perception of what power looked like, made me feel small, like I could never be a figure of influence because of my family. They didn't come from a place of wealth, so the attire I wore never qualified me as prestige, and on top of that, I was dark-skinned, black. You see, when I was a little girl, I defined me by what I was told and not what was. I looked at me a while before I could truly appreciate what it means to be black. But one day, as I sat in the living room with my mom watching this movie, Serafina, something broke within me. As I watched a young black girl like me fought to be free, one little black girl that faced the racist government fought for her freedom of a free Africa. I sat there in tears, the pain she endured, but the great hope she still maintained. For the fire in that little black girl never went dim. And for a while, it angered me to think that I would think less of myself to the people that didn't even embrace me. For a while, my little black girl self was self-obsessed with learning my black history. It gave me a longing to know of my descendants and the people that I truly identified with. And in finding them, I found the fighter in me. My little black girl self found me and what it meant to be black. So now when I look at the color of my skin, I no longer desire to be the little white girl on TV. Now when I look at the color of the skin, I wear it as a flag of pride, because being black now means that I am strong and courageous like Rosa Parks was, who, knowing that she would be punished, refused to give up her seat on a bus for the sake of equality, a historical moment in history that fueled the dream of Martin Luther King Jr. Being black means that I'm fearless like Harriet Tubman, a woman who led 70 slaves to freedom from captivity. Being black means that I must endure with great determination like Fannie Lou Hammond, who have been forced, sterilized, beaten, and arrested for attempting to register to vote, to continue to fight for Black rights. Her words echoed in my head. They said we are to suffer like Christ did, but I think in terms of what David had to do. David was the shepherd boy, but it came a time when he had to slay Goliath. Those words paced my soul as I replayed them over and over in my head. To think that I hated the color of my skin now irks me, when the color of my skin represents so much beauty, such power, and such strength. If it is one thing that I know now, that the color of my skin demands respect. Respect not just from person of another race, but respect by the ones who this color so closely adorn, because being Black came at a cost for the others who fought violently and are now gone. Thank you.
Wow. Gosh, I'm sorry. Wow. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. The power of the Black skin, the power of our history. History. We just finished celebrating Black History Month. But our Black voices are not relegated to 1 month. Black history is history, and it needs to be told. All of the stories, all of our ancestors. How many stories do we know of our Anguillian ancestors? How many stories? What are the love stories? What about the stories of battle? There are so many. I want you to know that you do not have to come up to the podium to speak. I can bring the microphone to you if you feel more comfortable. Sorry, I should have told you that before. But our next performer is Dark Angel. And, you want me to come to you? And her poem is Rhythms of Freedom.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let all rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. For as long as I could remember, it's been like this. Work with no pay, separation from families, torture and punishment every day. Those people invaded our land, took advantage of our hospitality, then hunted us down like wild beasts. Shackled by our necks, wrists, and ankles, they brought us to these huge things our people thought were strange clouds riding the waters. Like sardines, we lay side by side, bearing the dark brown, yellow filth dripping from our neighbors. We were measured by the size of our breasts and hands, width of our waist and shoulders, and strength of our arms and backs. Our men worked the plantation fields, our women worked the house. What was pleasure for them, you ask? Rape, abuse, and torture for us. Some poisoned their masters, some ran away, murdered their children, then committed suicide. Dying in the efforts to be free was better than enduring such misery. Deviant to comply faced the whip. You could hear the sound of it slashing, ripping through black flesh till it cried blood. Screams tearing the air, then a sudden silence and bowed heads all around. We were locked away in dungeons and pits with no food or clothing, with holes in the walls so rats, snakes, and other pests could nibble at our flesh. We found solace in these songs. Steal away, steal away, steal away to haven't got long to stay here. Steal away, steal away, steal away to Jesus. Steal away home. I haven't got long to stay here. How about this one? Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I was taught to sing and dance to the rhythm of my own beat. Those gone before me knew the dream. They planned escape routes, the Underground Railroad. Our code name? Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. One thing we know that can be done is that voice, the rhythm. And as Dark Angel said, the rhythm. Let me see if I can find my paper. The rhythm of blackness. The rhythms of freedom. The rhythms of freedom. Thank you so much for that. We had a couple of people that registered. They didn't tell us all their titles. So I'm just going to call somebody's name and hope that they are ready. And I'm going to take the mic to them. I see Derek Gums, who's going to read an excerpt from his book. You want me to come to you? Because the light is better over there. So let's give it up for Derek, a son of the soil, who has written a book and is going to read us an excerpt.
My name is Derek Gums, born in Slough. All right, my name is Derek Gums. They call me A.K. the Outer Doc. And I wrote a book entitled The March to Freedom, The Plight of the Black Man. And I'd like to read a little about what the book is about. The March to Freedom, The Plight of the Black Man highlights the Atlantic journey, the trauma and weariness during the passage, compounded relegating the black man to a relic in the marketplace. Bursting through the tidal waves of deprivation is the power of a resilient people who rose to shifting experiences. The longevity was found in the black man's ability to surrender as a means of his salvation. President Mandela said over and over again, we will use all non-violent weapons to our arsenal, speeches, marches, strikes. Consequently, the rather mute responses to the injustice carried out to this region and suffering be told, and that through this limited but profound effort of this narrative, darkness can be dispelled by the dawn of the light of this fresh perspective. Education is a great engine of personal development. Us who we are, but what we use and how we use it to change the lives of others that separates us from the other. Dr. Lowell Hughes, quoting in Lennox Vanderpool's book, says, State research shows that literacy can be a major tool for eradicating poverty, enlarging employment opportunities, advancing gender equality, and improving family health, protecting the environment, and profounding or building up democratic participation. The March to Freedom is a self-reflective chronicle of the black man's saga. It is a name of the long evolution toward an equitable society. It is constitutional change and laws that embrace democracy. This book is a beacon of hope for the fulfillment of promises, integrity in the process, and continued progression toward the freedom of the black man. One last piece. This chapter, shackled and splintered, take a risk for as long as to try. It is more a failure not to try. The universal experience and the contemporary way nature speaks cannot be unnoticed. The undeniable tremor of earthquakes, the rumbling of volcanoes, fire, the high tension electrifying discharges of lightning, the torrents of rainfall that displaces the landmass, and the unforgiving tidal waves of the tsunami are all the voices of nature. The unprecedented manner in which the extortions took place to annihilate a free people and to constrain them is also a part of the struggle of the black man. The black man has spoken in various forms. So has us today in our challenges, in our present challenges, whether it be to our social, our socioeconomics, the politics, we continue to speak as nature has spoken, with the burning fire of discomfort, the tidal waves of economic deprivation, and the distancing from equal opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I want to thank you to read that excerpt. The book is entitled The March to Freedom. It's on Amazon, Kindle, and audio. God bless you and thank you for listening this evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Derek. Now, that's another book that I have to buy because I have a section in my library home where everybody from Anguilla who has written a book, I have bought their book. So I have, well, when the Lit Fest used to, yes, I have a book. And I try as far as possible to get them to sign it so that when they become even more famous, I'll be able to make money off them. No, I wouldn't part with them. I won't part with them. So as we soak in the brilliance of these performances, let's take a moment to acknowledge our venue once more. L'Atmosphere Bistro. Thank you again, Lena, she's in the kitchen, for creating a space where art and culture can flourish. This is an initiative of the fledgling Anguilla Writers Association. It was born out of a group of I'm a fledgling writer. I haven't published this yet, but some of my colleagues have published and they were featured at the St. Martin Book Fair a couple of years ago. And we all went over and we were so enthused, we decided that we needed to try and encourage more people in Anguilla to write, to do. There's Lena! There's Lena, the owner! Thank you so much, Lena. When we came to her and we said that we wanted to do something, she said, fine, we love the atmosphere. We thought it was very creative, so we're going to be back. Right. But we came up and we decided that we wanted to form a group where we could encourage other Anguillian writers, because I've been writing a long time, haven't published as yet. There are yeah, they're coughing in the background because they keep on saying. But Iva has published, Joanna's published, Rosanna is publishing, I am publishing. I have my book. It's just to, to me, writing is exposing a part of yourself. And I am afraid to expose myself. So that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So now let's keep the energy going. We're going to be playing some music. We're going to be playing a little bit of music while we set up our next performer, who is going to charm us with her vocal cords, kind of like Dark Angel did. We're going to play some music. You ready? You need this? Our next performer is Thomas with her vocal cords. Mickey Benjamin, welcome to the mic. Mickey Benjamin. He's not ready yet? Okay. Oh, he's not ready. Okay. So Anguilla's history is rich with resilience, courage, and stories passed down through generations. Everybody knows the song Anguilla, right? I say A, I say A-N. Are you ready now? Before I get everybody's ears off key? Yeah? So I can tell you a little bit more about the Writers Association. We're very small in number. We have set up a WhatsApp group with everybody from Anguilla or who lives in Anguilla who has written or published or is looking to publish, and we're trying to see what we can do to encourage literature and spoken word, everything creative in Anguilla. We're trying to push that as far as we can. I have a poem to read later. It's going to be the first time that I'm actually performing a poem in front of people. I wonder if I should. No, I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to try and get the courage up a little bit more. Because speaking in front of people is easy. For me, saying poetry and something from my heart is a little bit more difficult. So we're not ready yet? Okay. So in the meantime, no, we have to wait, right? Because we have to set it up for her. Okay, all right. Joanne, pass me my pass me my phone, please. Oh look, the music is coming in. The music is coming now, so I can't read it. You ready? You ready now? Saved by the music. Mickey Benjamin.
Good night, everyone. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ooh. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh. When the roll is called out, I'll be standing taller to face the darkest and the hardest of times. We'll be taking care of all the children thereof, but if it's required, be on the front line. You can call me by my name. I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, amount of stories been told. Call me anytime, never cop out. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. Never say never, willingness forever to fight and be strong. Once it's for better, I'll write every letter and moving right along. And I'll roll with the punches, accept changes, work with the formula, do what I have to do, and call me by my name. I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, amount of stories been told. Call me anytime, never cop out. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. When you are willing to serve, we have room to observe, to see if you can walk the walk you talk. Let me give you my word, my voice must be heard. Bravery is a piece of my heart. Call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, amount of stories been told. Call me, never cop out. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. You can call me by my name. Once the rules remain the same, call me anytime. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. Call me by my name, by my name. Don't you ever drop out. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for blessing us with those beautiful vocal cords. Okay. I'm supposed to keep on talking, but I'm not going to tell you my poem yet. We have, as I said at the beginning, we have a couple of people who registered, and I'd now like to call upon Henry Thomas, who is going to bless us with some poetry. Henry? Come, let's clap as he comes. Let's make him welcome as he comes to the lectern. Very powerful. Yes, I've read some of his poetry, so I'm looking forward to hearing this.
Good evening. To some of you, my name is Henry Thomas, and well, I've made Anguilla my home for the past 30 years. Some of you may have known me in the capacity of law enforcement. I used to be a police officer here. And I went to the UK for about 12 years, and I'm back here, and Anguilla is still my home. I'm originally from Dominica. And as I stand here to speak, testing, mic. Okay, we're back. Where was I? I get a little bit sidetracked there. So as I stand here to speak tonight, I am on the final step of my journey. I'm finishing my book. My book is entitled, the name of my book, I could say it's Golden Sunsets. It's a series of motivational quotes, which I bring out motivational quotes on a daily basis, and poetry. So that's what my book will consist of. So that is part of my journey. And to stand here tonight, I will say
I'm a bit of a reserved person. I don't speak much. And my book took me quite a while because I would support the fact just now when it was said that when you start writing, it's like you open yourself. It's like you get out of your comfort zone and you open yourself to the world. So that I was a bit slow and kind of skeptical about that. But I had enough, it took me enough, and some encouraging words from like Ivor and other people who published. I'm here tonight, and my poem is entitled, Who Are You? The moment that someone would ask, who are you? Make no mistake, probably you may have already prepared a family tree to introduce yourself. Have you done some deep soul searching to find yourself? We sometimes get too complacent, allow others to define us due to the fact that we have refused to find ourselves. Societal norms and traditions make it feel all morally correct to forget self and to be lost in whatever is widely accepted. You may be a wealthy or comfortable person and still exist in a society where empathy and selflessness strive. You may be someone who does not have much but makes sacrifices so that others can survive. You may be selfish and wealthy. You think that your wealth can buy people and life. You may be a leader and treat your team fair by using emotional intelligence and pure motivation. You may find yourself while being in a very toxic environment. This may be part of your journey which leads you all the way to the end. Authenticity was never defined by angels with wings and clasped hands. It is defined as being your true self. It is what it is, and we are who we are. At this point, change is a chapter that we should read, but we either skip that chapter or never get to it. It all begins and ends with you. Knowing who you are is a blessing. One sure sign that you are not confused or brainwashed. Associate yourself with good deeds. Your name will not be forgotten. Though sometimes the notorious criminal names goes down in the books of history and the philanthropist names remains unknown. Never forget who you really are. Always remember that your identity can or may be stolen either for evil or for good deeds. But your character can never be stolen. Good night.
Thank you, thank you. The voice lived up to the reading. Test, 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 test. Yes, we're back, we're back. Thank you, Henry, for that poem. As I said, I have read his poem in the chat, and to hear him is a blessing, truly. Now I'd like to call upon Wilbert Lawrence, who is going to perform a short story for us. These are some of the people who registered. We just wanted to know if we were going to actually have an audience when we came here tonight. So we just asked persons to register their name and what they were going to do. So Mr. Lawrence, welcome to the podium.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, good night. Yeah. I'm Mr. Wilbert Lawrence, better known as Fruity. So I have a story. It's about me when I was a little boy. Okay? I have it written, but I have it in my mind. I don't know if you would like me to read it or just say it how I have it in my mind. You want me to say it how I have it in my mind? Okay. When I was a little boy, I used to roam the road because back home in St. Lucia, it wasn't that much with my relatives. We were very poor and stuff like this. So one day I was walking up the road and I heard a loud noise ahead of me. Then when I keep on walking, I saw a gentleman outside and he told me, I have a flat. I said, man, how you could have a flat? You cannot flat. He said, no. Then he showed me a pickup truck. He told me the truck flat. I said, okay, if anybody knows St. Lucia, they should know the distance is not like Anguilla. And that time, 47 years ago, you could imagine they didn't have much vehicles. So what he did, he told me he would like me to be a watchman for him. I said, no, I cannot be a watchman because I'm a boy. You have to employ me as a watch boy. He said, okay, I'm going to give you a job to watch the truck for me. I'm going to change the spare tire. It will take me a while. So then he put me in the truck. I sit down carefully in the truck. So while I was in the truck, he left on another ride. He go to get his tire repaired. So when I sit down in the truck, I saw there's a box on the seat next to me. So I'm talking about the box, but it has a message in it also, so that children know. My grandmother always used to say, touch with your eye. How is it? Touch with your eye and something with your hand. So it's a little puzzling now, but I have it. No. Touch with your eye and see with your hands. So I didn't know what it really meant, So as I grew up, I realized what it's like, So whilst I sit on the truck, I see a nice box, well covered. So I opened the box. When I looked, I saw it had a cake. So on the cake, it was like 3 floors of cake. But I was very big. I'm not that big now. I was very big and I eat a lot. So whilst I look at the box, and when I open it, I see it have a little man and a little lady holding hands to the top of it. So I don't know what that's for, So I took my fingernail and I touched a little piece. I taste it. Wow, it's nice. I sit down, I wait. Then I take another piece. Oh, it tastes a little sweeter. I say, wow, that tastes good. So then I open the door of the truck. I go outside. I look around. I find a little piece of stick. It used to be a popsicle stick. So I took it. I went back in the truck and I cut the piece of the cake. So then I eat. I wait a little bit. The guy didn't come back. I took another piece. The guy didn't come back. I took another piece again. The guy didn't come back. I said, oh, man, this guy have me there alone. So when I look, the whole cake finished. I said, Lord. So I said, only the little man and the little lady holding hand remained there. So I took it and I put it in my mouth to bite, but I couldn't eat that because it was hard. I thought it could eat also. If I could have eaten it, I would eat it too. So I stayed, I wait. The guy takes so long because it takes like an hour for another vehicle to pass. So I wait. Then a while I heard truck stop. Then he jumped down with a tire in his hand. So I said, okay, he reached back. So I sit down quietly, and then he go with his tire, he go around. When he reached by the pickup where I was sitting down, I opened the door on the other side, and I ran through the bush. Then he said, yeah. I said, man, each time he said, yeah, he giving me more speed to run. So I keep running. He said, yeah, come for some money. I keep running. I said, man, in my mind, I already get paid. So I keep flying. So just because of that, as I get big and older now, I'm asking a question. What do you think that cake was for? Anybody could help me? Oh, Lord. So you could just imagine, in that time, you need at least 3 weeks before you could order a cake. So, and the cake is coming from the capital, which is Castries. I don't know if anybody knows about St. Lucia. So it will take 3 weeks. So I said, man. So now you know St. Lucia? Oh, I was 9 years old. I was about 9 years old. So then, so I sitting down, and after she called, I keep running. So now I thinking of, man, if that was a wedding cake, how it would look getting an empty box in your wedding without a cake. So now I just want to apologize for the owner of the cake. I'm 55 now. So I'm telling the people I'm sorry. I don't know who them be. But I had enjoyed the cake. So the thing in that message is that it means never touch what's not yours, because the smallest little touch will make it get very big. So please, children, What's not yours, leave it alone. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. My goodness. Can you imagine getting to your wedding all happy and they open the box and there's two people, just two people, no cake, and it's in your stomach. And you're apologizing to people in St. Lucia, in Anguilla. I love it. Thank you so much for that short story. I think I'm going to be handing over to my co-presenter. So, as I leave, I am going to give you my poem. I just want to say that this poem, my father was a sailor, and I see Ron and I can't remember your name, but his brother here, and my dad used to sail with his dad. I have a picture of our fathers together, and I think Freddie Hughes, because all of them used to sail together, and that was like 300 years of Anguilla history, the three of them together. So, yes. This poem is kind of a tribute to all those men who sailed and helped to build Anguilla. Ooh, my first time. Salt water in our veins. We are the children of the sea, born under skies where the sun whispers secrets to the waves. With salt water in our veins, we set sail on tides that carry dreams. Dreams bigger than this tiny rock we call home. Anguilla, the proud and fierce, where the ocean meets the soul. From the cradle of the island, we learn the art of survival, how to read the wind like scripture, how to speak the language of the currents beneath our hulls. We are sailors, fishermen, craftsmen of the waves, navigating waters as blue as the sea's reflection. Our sails billowing like hopes caught in the trade winds. Through the Caribbean we voyage, island to island, each port a new story, each harbor a fleeting friend. But the sea, oh, the sea, holds no mercy. It's both mother and mistress, loving us with calm sunsets and tearing us apart in storms, where the waves grow fangs and the sky shatters into rain. We learn to dance with danger, our lives held together by rope and faith. The perils, they are many, the howling winds, the silent stalking reef, the moments when the horizon disappears into fury. But we do not fear the sea. We understand her. We are molded by her, honed by every storm, strengthened by every journey, yet our hearts are always anchored here, Anguilla, where the soil is thin and the spirit is deep. We sail not for riches, not for gold, but to help this island prosper, to carry her name with pride, through waters rough and still, through dark nights and starlit skies. We carry fish and stories, goods and dreams, for Anguilla needs more than our sweat. She needs our love. We sail so the children here can grow tall like masts, their minds open like the horizon we chase. We sail for the future, for every palm tree that bends in the breeze, for every stone that builds this place. We are sailors, yes, but more than that, we are the lifeblood of this land. Our love for the sea is a love for Anguilla. For every wave we conquer is a victory for her shores. And as long as the ocean breathes, so do we. Sailing forward, always forward. For her, Anguilla is home, and we are her sailors. Thank you. I'd now like to hand over to my co-presenter, Sister Rosanna.
Let's hear it for Susan. Susan, you stole my piece when you started talking about sailors. I said, okay,
when I come up, I'm going to open with a piece about the sea, as we are seafaring people. And there she goes. Wonderful piece. Looking forward to seeing that published, Susan. So good night, everyone. I am Rosanna Brown. So I'll take you through the rest of the program. Throughout history, our voices have been our greatest tool for resistance, resilience, and revolution. From the giraffes of Africa to the poets of the Caribbean, our words have carried wisdom and fire. And Anguilla's story, our struggles, our victories, our heroes, our sheroes deserve to be told by us. And tonight we celebrate the power in each of you as we share from our soul voices of Black expression. This is an invitation for open mic. We do have open mic, so if you didn't register, I know there's talent in this little gathering here. So if you feel the pull in your spirit, that little nudge to come up and share, this is your moment. So let us know, raise your hand, whisper to me, to Susan, indicate, and we'll be happy to have you come forth and do so. So Mr. Connor, we got you already. Any others? Any others? Are you ready, Mr. Connor? Okay, if you're ready, okay, let me get Ivor to introduce you.
Why, Rosanna had to get me to the mic tonight. But Mr. Connor, just before I bring you up here, right, we have some children here, and very often we as adults tend to overlook them. And when we are delivering, we tend to deliver to adults and not children. So I'm going to do something for the children, and then you can come and do your adult thing, and I'll come back later. And let me see, which one I think I should tell you this evening. And I'm thinking, and I'm thinking. And you know what is interesting? Anguilla is part of the diaspora, but our roots not only lie in the African continent, it's also tied to Europe. Because I'm sure many of us here can trace our ancestry back to persons in Ireland and to Scotland and to Wales and to France and to Denmark. So we are all a mix. But the story I'm going to tell you today is about a fowl and a cockroach. What's the story about? A fowl and a cockroach. But let me tell you something. In those days, fowls and cockroaches could communicate with each other. Just like when I'm talking to you, they could talk to each other. So here's what. Fowl was a very industrious lady. Man, she walked around every day from morning till night. She'd take up her hoe in the morning, take up her machete, take up her cooler bag, and she gone down the road to walk her ground. She plant potatoes, peas, corn, yam, cassava, anything you could eat, fowl would plant. But here's what. Cockroach were lazy, still lie down in bed all day and don't want to do a thing. So in the morning when fowl get up, 4 day morning, she drink her bush tea, and she take up her accoutrements, and she say, I'm going to work. She say, cockroach, you coming to help me today? Cockroach say, oh, my head, oh, my back, oh, my belly, oh, my knees. I can't help you today. And boy, as soon as fowl reached down the road by the corner, cockroach jump up out of bed, praise the Lord, I fooled the hen, praise the Lord, I fooled the hen. And she danced by. When she think fowl coming home, she gone back in her bed. Oh. So this morning, Fowl had to pick peas. She said, cockroach, you're coming to help me pick the peas? Lord, I'm feeling able. I had a bad night. Oh, my head. Oh, my back. Oh, my belly. Oh, my knees. So Fowl gone down the road to pick her peas. But hear what? When cockroach inside jumping up, praise the Lord of fool the fowl. Praise the Lord of fool the hen. Hen forget she ain't drink her bush tea. So she come back home, and as she open the door, she hear the music blasted, and cockroach in there having a session. By fowl make a pitch for cockroach. Cockroach fly up in the roof. And from that day, whenever a cockroach see a fowl, what a cockroach do? Fly up in the roof. So do not get no, oh, my head, oh, my back, oh, my belly, and oh, my knees. Go do your work. I would like to introduce a schoolmate of mine from way back, Mr. Connor, Kevin Connor, I think that would be your name, sir. But he's better known as Bongo Joe. So Bongo Joe, come and bless us with your poems. He's a published author, by the way, and he will tell you a bit about what he has published.
We'll do a tribute poem for James Tubbs Connor. I don't know if anyone remember him. He worked on the ferry. He steered the ferry. His name was James Connor. They called him Tubbs. He worked on the Silver Still. So this is a tribute to him. Ever took the Silver Still from St. Martin to Anguilla, and a squall start coming down? Boat loaded with frozen chicken, gas boom, and kerosene drum. Floyd, captain in the vessel, James Tubberfoot Connor at the helm. Ralph keeping a watchful eye, and Aaron wearing a smile. James Tubberfoot Connor, so masterful at the wheel. James Tubberfoot Connor, so highly skilled. In time of storm, we smooth sailing still, and no one ever had to scream, keep her up, keep her up, and no one ever had to shout, hold her down, hold her down. When come to steering a boat, Tubberfoot knew how to do his work. Humble as a lamb, he never did any talking. Boat handling was his way of communicating. And when the Silver Still was safely docked at Blowing Point Pier on that stormy day, Tubbs, with curved shoulders, would slowly walk away, head to his house, and prepare himself for another day of seafaring. Will be headed the St. Martin way. Give thanks. The dawning. I can't find it, but it's we'll do a poem called. Yeah, I don't like reading, so I'm taken out of Africa without a consent, used as tools, tortured and bent. Sojourn in Babylon is up, repatriate. A destination, Mama Africa's embrace. To repatriate love is a cry. Repatriate love for I and I. Repatriate love is not a dream. It's a reality, so let freedom ring. Throughout the whole of Africa, let freedom ring. Africans in the diaspora are coming home again. We're coming home to heal again, coming home to love again, coming home to build again, coming home to unite, my friend. Conscious Africans in the diaspora are coming home again. Mama Africa, we were snatched from you. Mama Africa, we need you. Mama, just to touch your face. Mama, your warm embrace. So repatriate love is a cry. Repatriate love for I and I. Repatriate love is not a dream. It's a reality. So let freedom ring. Throughout the whole of Africa, let freedom ring. Mama, mama, your children are coming home again. Mama, mama, your children are coming home again. I'm one of them. Silver Still. Silver Still by Bongo Joe. And then we have another one called Silver Still 2 by Bongo Joe. Kevin Connor is the government name. Do a poem called, oh yeah. This poem is called African Woman. And it says, African woman, you are as beautiful as the rising sun. African woman, your beauty radiates even when the day is done. African woman, just see and know your every cry. African woman, lift up your head and hold it up high. And don't you know we love you? Don't you know we really care? Don't you know we honor you all 13 months of the year? So African woman, lift up your head. African woman, hold it up high. Radiant is your beauty. You light up the world with your smile. We love you. We will do more to show how much we care. We honor you, and we shall do that all 13 months of the year. African woman, beautiful African woman. African woman, nurturing African woman. African woman, highly intelligent African woman. African woman, mother of creation. We love you.
Thank you. Give it up for Bongo Joe. Yay. Thank you for sharing those 3 pieces with us. Bongo, African woman. So I am going to now share one of my pieces. March is Women History Month. And I want to share a piece in honor of all of us women. We just had African women, and now we'll have Caribbean women. I am a woman, born from the rhythm of waves crashing against rocks, raised by the hands of grandmothers who spoke wisdom in whispers, and mothers who carried the weight of the world but never let it bend their backs. I am a Caribbean woman, forged in the fire of the midday sun, where resilience is stitched into my bones and the salt of the sea seasons my spirit. I do not yield. I do not break. I move forward because I know if I stop, I fall. They told me, stay small, be soft, let the men handle the weight of the world. But I was not built for the back seat. I was not born to be a shadow to a man's ambition. I was raised by a woman who turned pennies into possibilities, who made meals out of nothing but faith and fire, who stitched dreams together with callous hands and never, never let struggle steal her shine. They say women should mind the small details. I say yes. We mind the details that build dynasties, the ones that turn coins into capital, homes into empires, children into leaders, visions into legacies. They say women should not worry about big business. I say we are the business. We are the CEOs of survival, the CFOs of sacrifice, the architects of abundance.
we invest in ourselves, because a woman without her own wealth is a woman who cannot be owned. I will not be a prisoner of dependence. I will not bow to a system that tells me my worth is in my silence. I will speak. I will rise. I will claim my seat at the table, or I will build my own. Because I know the truth. Excellence is not an act. It's a habit. And I have spent my life practicing greatness. I am a woman, a Caribbean woman. I am an unstoppable force. I am the storm and the sunshine. I ride this bicycle of life with balance and grace, pedal by pedal, push by push, knowing that when I keep moving forward, I will never fall. This is my time to rise and shine. This is my legacy to leave behind. This is the power of a woman, a Caribbean woman. Thank you, thank you. I don't see, we have some other registered performers who are not here. So again, I'm calling out to you in the audience. Any takers? Any more open mic performances? Right over here? You're not open mic. You're registered. So come and do another piece. Let's welcome Henry to do another piece for us.
Yeah, thank you, Rosanna. Well, this one is a little bit humorous. It's entitled Give Me. Give me love, and I will carry it with a smile. Give me a word, and I will create a motivational quote. Give me a woman, and I will make a happy wife. Give me a car, and I will drive it with pride. Give me a kiss, and make my tummy create butterflies. Give me a smile, and I might give you a sweet eye. Never stop giving me. Give me food, and you receive blessings. Give me encouragement, because you are experienced. Give me a compliment, and I get better each day. Give me a beat, and I will sing like Barry White. Give me a job, and I will enrich the lives of your employees. Give me a slap, and I will turn the other cheek. Just continue giving me. Give me a book, and I will read. Give me an opportunity, and I will make you proud. Give me a house, and I will make it a home. Give me a hug, and I will pass it on. Give me alcohol, and I will create a cocktail. Give me a chair, and I will sit like His Majesty. Give me a pipe, and I will get the tobacco. Give me a Bible, and I will read you Psalms. Give me negative attitude, and I ignore. Give me strength to endure, and I will appreciate. Your blessings are overflowing because your first name is the Godfather. I receive all that you give to me with open arms. I give back. I share it with a willing heart. Giving is not wrong, but the energy in receiving can be. Never be afraid to give. The world needs less takers and more givers. I'm not trying to create the new version of Santa Claus. Remember, it is better to give than to receive.
Yes, let's give it up for Henry. Keep giving to Henry, please. He could do some wonderful things with whatever you gave him. All right. So next up, we will hear from Mrs. Joanne Hodge. She will come and do a piece. We know that in our little island we have been challenged with gun violence, and just a week ago we had the passing of a young man, someone that was well known to, I think, most of us here. And Mr. Joanne is going to come and deliver a piece that was specially written for the mother of that young man. Joanne?
Good evening. So this poem is to the mother, Sandra, but it can be a tribute to mothers everywhere who have lost sons through violence, gun violence or any other kind of violence. This piece was actually penned by Mr. David Carty. So I hope I can do it the justice that Mr. Carty would have done this evening. For Sandra. Another mother cried today with splintered tears and razor shards of sorrow, shattering through rainbows once filled with hope, now arcing down to dusty, barren grounds of emptiness. In screeching pain and tangled agony, bursting into flames of grief. Another brother died today, erased in bullets, roared red through rage, with ripping heat, flashed dark with evil, cooked in malice, senseless in its senselessness, heartless in its heartlessness, greedy in the failing of yet another to a hungry grave. Another heart just broke today. Another soul cried out, shame today. Another tribe looked on today in stunned observance at another promise gunned down today, and left the people dazed by rainbows with no colors, crazed with whys that have no answers, sickened in a wretched, heaving sea of helplessness, where words are mute and silence is the only kindness. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Joanne and that piece very well penned by Mr. David Carty, who couldn't be here this evening, and we agreed to share it. Let's pray for all the grieving mothers and families who are grieving over the loss of their sons or daughters who are taken in violence. As we move along, I'm going to call Iva back to do some storytelling. Thank you, Iva, for sharing before, keeping the children, the younger ones in mind, and sharing that story about cockroach and fowl. I don't know if it's going to be another cockroach and fowl, but let's welcome Iva to the phone, to the microphone.
Thank you, Rosanna. You know, in the Caribbean, we tend to live life large. We dramatize everything. We add color to everything. And even the most somber moments, we can add some flavor to it. So I took an excerpt from my last book, a story called The Rising of Billy. And if you happen to know who Billy is, please don't tell anybody. I don't have money to pay anybody in court. Dr. Hamilton put his glasses by Billy's mouth and no frost. He lifted up his hand and it dropped back splap on the ground. He opened Billy's eyes and they were colorless. Your Lord, Billy dead. I pronounce him man and... No, that's not wife. I pronounce him man dead. With that one bawling start, because Billy was a very popular fellow, even though he had never liked to give back what he had borrowed. Dr. Hamilton looked at Billy again and could have sworn he saw his left eye wink. But the doc was still loaded with that peach brandy, and he just wanted to catch the silver still back to Sinkits. Now all of a sudden, nobody wanted to be responsible for burying Billy because he owed everybody and was living in a little house that he owed like 2 or 3 years rent for. But the landlord didn't have the heart to put him out. So Billy laid still on the ground until the welfare had to come for him, because Billy was now termed and indigent with no resources. So the government had to bury Billy. What a scramble. They carried Billy by the last bar and laid him out on a table while somebody cut green grass and put it on his stomach to stop him from swelling. They also put 2 coppers on his eyes, but they kept sliding off, and someone picked them up and used them to pay for a drink. The word got around, and by noon, plenty people done gather by the last stop, expecting to meet a wake. But Honest done pack away his good rum in the bag, because at a wake, rum free. The only thing that was left out was some cask rum that had spoiled and tasted awful. Next thing Honest checked, them drink the half too. Anyway, they carried Billy to the church, and Father Turner said, since the main actor was here, you could as well start the service. But after the first hymn, the father said, no more singing, because the singing was really awful. Huh? And the church was really packed, so Father Turner started his sermon, but he realized he had taken up the wrong sermon because the one he was using was for a wedding. He started talking about Jesus performing a miracle by turning water into wine. And a rummer in the back shouted out, well, he need to do another miracle and turn honest bad rum into good rum before he killed more than Billy. Well, church nearly mashed up then. So Father Turner said, Billy was going to a good place, and he prayed that his soul would rest in peace. That was the wrong thing to say, because next thing the whole church broke out in sobbings and moanings. Father cut the sermon short and got Billy's coffin outside. The procession made its way to the burial ground with the 6 pallbearers carrying the coffin and a whole heap of crying going on. Some were crying because Billy owed them money, and now they couldn't get it back. Others were crying because Billy would always sponsor them a rum or 2 at the bar, even though it wasn't his money. And a certain set was just crying because others were crying. One time, Olive was bawling some long, snotty tears by a graveside. Lord, he was a nice man. He looked out for all he turned, them by the wife and them outside. And he looked out for all the outside women them too. Lord, what am I do now he gone? Then she turned to the person next beside and said, Bahut is dead. Father, then Ambrose stumbled on a root and caused the other pallbearers to stumble too. And next thing you know, down dropped the coffin. Break it up. The cover fly off in Billy's setup. And asked, what has happened? Are you want to kill a man? That was a hard drop. Then he looked around, saw he was sitting in a coffin, and everybody there standing up in them funeral clothes with their mouths open. So he asked them, but who is dead? Well, you know, stampede take place in the burial ground. In minutes, the yard was empty, except for Billy, still sitting up in a coffin and asking who is dead. Next day, a message went to St. Kitts to tell the doctor not to come back to Anguilla because Honest looking for him to pay for all the bad rum people drink out of his bar, and Billy looking for him to put him in the coffin. And that was an excerpt from the story. If you want to read the whole story, you better get a book.
Buy the book, get the book, get the book. Lots more. If you love that story, well, that excerpt, there are lots more in the book. So you have to get the book. As we wind down, we have a couple more pieces to go. I'm going to call Susan back to give a second item. And then you'll get one from me. And any takers from the audience? No? Okay. Okay. So Bongo Joe will do another. And then that will take us out.
Thank you. Whispers. It starts the whisper. Shoo, shoo, shoo. In reply, nothing serious, just or uh-huh, or even a pinpointed, high-pitched inflection of really, all with an incredulous air. The whisper first hits the ear and quickly passes by the mouth to the next ear, then goes from ear to mouth to ear to mouth to ear to group to ear to chat to ear to voice note to ear to room, all the while taking on that mystical, surreal air of truth. As the whisper passes from ear to mouth to ear, it grows legs. First, short legs, but as it grows, it gets further from the first mouth. They grow longer. They grow bigger. They take in longer and longer strides until it starts to skip. The skip turns into a jog and then a leisurely run. Soon, as it gains strength, the legs begin to sprint. The magnitude of the whisper now reverberates through the atmosphere. The whisper grows arms, arms that are long-reaching, arms that wrap themselves around the hearer, enveloping them in a cloud of whispers as the legs continue their sprint. The small grain of truth in the whisper has lessened, and just like an acorn, the other elements have grown into an oak. A huge, majestic oak, almost impossible to cut down unless you ask the question, the right question, to the right person, at the right time. No question? Then verification is unnecessary, as that small grain of truth becomes lost in the roots. The whisper is rumor. Rumor is there. That is all it needs to be, just there, ready to cast doubt on a person's ability, their creativity, their genuineness, and their genius. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan, for that wonderful piece. So let's make sure that our whispers do the right thing, please. We've been on a journey tonight, feeling the rhythm of words and the heartbeat of our stories. Let's take a deep breath together. Inhale, inspiration, and exhale, hesitation. Who's been inspired so far by all that have been shared tonight? Everyone? Have you been inspired? Make some noise if you have. All right, so I'm going to give you another one, and then we'll hear from Bongo Joe. Shall I give you the one about the sea? Yes, Phyllis? Okay. So my dad was a sailor and a fisherman. So I got me a sea piece. The sea remembers. The sea is not water, it is memory. A vast liquid archive of whispers, shouts, and songs, a hymn carved by the hands of our forebears, etched into tides that rise and fall like their chests battered but breathing. Oh, Atlantic mother, Caribbean cradle, you cradle our island like a babe in your blue arms. You are the first breath we taste, the last sound we hear. You are vast, you are ferocious, yet you are ours. And the boat? Wooden dreams shaped by callous hands, schooners birthed from the soul of mahogany and sweat. They did not merely float, they danced. Their sails inhaling the wind like lungs filled with freedom, our hope, our necessity. Our people, genius sailors, captains of the horizon, men and women with salt in their veins and stars in their eyes. They chartered the unchartable, reading the sea as if it were scripture, every wave a verse, every current a commandment. They went far, chasing work, chasing survival, to Macaris, Aruba, Cuba, Curacao, Antigua, Guyana, to lands not promised but prayed for. They left not because they wanted to, but because the sea whispered, "You can." And the sea remembers. It remembers the steel hulls, the trade routes, the dominance of Anguillan grit and genius. It remembers the taste of our triumph and the salt of our sacrifice. Even now, as the schooners sleep beneath the sand and the still hulls are rusted relics of a forgotten empire, the ocean keeps our story alive. Today, we fish. We cast lines not just for sustenance, but for connection, to pull from the depths not just snapper and grouper, but echoes of who we once were and who we still are. The sea is still our mother. Her heartbeat is the pulse of this island. But do we listen? Do we honor? Do we hear her call to remember? Anguilla, land cradled by two waters, you are a daughter of the sea. Your forebears built vessels, but you are the vessel now. Carry forward the legacy. Navigate this life as they navigated those waters, with courage, with ingenuity, with faith. And when you stand by the shore, when you feel the spray on your skin, know this: the sea is not just a mirror, it is a witness, and it waits for you to reclaim your reflection. And now, thank you, we'll have Bongo. Bongo Joe will come and share. Final piece, and then we will close. One more? Oh, okay. Come, Bongo. So after Bongo, we'll have Derek to do another reading. Is it a reading, Derek? Okay.
This piece is called Woman on the Beach, and it's a
and it says, selling shells on the shore, selling wraps and more. Her skin has a glow. Oh, how she moves with the flow. A mermaid's body couldn't compete. Beauty from head to feet. No one can touch her, no matter how far they reach. She's the woman on the beach. Woman on the beach, and she moves with such pride. Woman on the beach, she has nothing to hide. Woman on the beach, and she's full of grace. Woman on the beach, oh how beautiful her face. Woman on the beach, and she's full of glory. Woman on the beach, you will never know her story. African printed shawls, kente printed scarves, cowrie shelled necklaces and rings, bits and pieces of Anguilla, and other precious things. Gracefully she moves as she sells her wares. Proudly she moves without a care. She never preach, she always teach. She's the woman on the beach. Woman on the beach, and she moves with such pride. Woman on the beach, she has nothing to hide. Woman on the beach, and she's full of grace. Woman on the beach, oh how beautiful her face. Woman on the beach, and she's full of glory. Woman on the beach, you will never know a story. As the sun goes down, she gathers her things and prepares for another day. As the sun descends, she says, everything is gonna be okay. The African scarves sold very well today. Started from scratch, and look how far she has reached. She's the woman on the beach. Woman on the beach, and she's full of pride, and she moves with pride. Woman on the beach, she has nothing to hide. Woman on the beach, and she's full of grace. Woman on the beach, oh how beautiful her face. Woman on the beach. Woman on the beach, and this, woman on the beach, and she's full of glory. Woman on the beach, and this is her story. Woman on the beach. Woman on the beach, and this is her story. It's one of glory. It's one of pride and dignity. Woman on the beach, it's one of victory, victory, victory. Give thanks.
Bongo and Woman on the Beach. And now we'll hear our final piece, which will come from Derek before we close off. SoulSpeak, Voices of Black Expression.
Thank you, thank you. This final piece is on behalf tribute to Damien Hughes, Reverend Damien Hughes. He was the one who actually wrote the foreword for this book, and I'd like to just get that rolling.
This book is a profound exploration of the Black experience, a journey through the complex, tangled web that is our history, personal anecdotal narrative, and collective consciousness. It is a testament to the enduring spirit of a people who have faced unimaginable adversity, yet have emerged as beacons of resilience, resistance, and strength. The autodoc is extremely efficacious, not just in vehicle diagnostics and cures, but also in masterfully weaving together the threads of personal anecdotes and historical analysis. He creates a contextual framework that is both intimate and expansive. The haunting imagery of the caged bird serves as a poignant metaphor for the centuries of oppression endured by Black people, while the celebration of achievements offers a counterbalance of hope and inspiration, intimated in the proverbial phoenix rising from the ashes. As we traverse the many layers of Black thought and grapple with effects that have been lingering since chattel enslavement, these pages direct us toward our own blind spot and urge us all to discard revisionist histories, which for far too long have skewed the world's history. This is a call for action, an appeal to the justice and potential of humanity, that is made by delving into the complexities of the Black psyche. As you read, what should become immediately apparent is that this publication is more than a book. It is both a catalyst and a call to action. It is a necessary conversation starter, a tool for education, and a reservoir of awareness. Dive into the pages of this journey and be touched by its stories, compelled to act in response to a vision for valuing all voices equally. Let the pugnacious passion of the author permeate through your thoughts as you embrace the purpose of the author's writing and the continued struggle for us as a people to move from being pilgrims and proletariats to earners of the proverbial promised land.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Derek. Our voices are our legacy and our power, our freedom. When we let our souls speak, the world listens. What a night it has been. Short, small audience, but a night of truth, passion, and artistic fire. Do you agree? Yes. Give it up. Tonight is proof that words are not just heard, they are felt. Did you feel the words tonight? They shape our identity, our honor, our history, and light the way forward. So let's carry this energy beyond tonight. Keep writing to those of us who write, and those who don't, I hope you're inspired too. Keep speaking, keep creating. On behalf of the Anguilla Writers Association Hour and L'Atmosphere Bistro, we'd like to thank you for gracing us with your presence here tonight and coming out. We truly thank Lena and the L'Atmosphere Bistro crew for partnering with us on this initiative to have this SoulSpeak event here tonight. It's our first, but it's not going, I have a feeling it's not going to be our last, right? It's not going to be our last. And I just want to thank all the performers who came out and performed tonight. Avenella Griffith, Susan Hodge, Joseph Ivor Hodge, Siobhan D'Souza, Castilla Thomas Carty, aka Dark Angel, Wilbert Lawrence, Derek Gums, Henry Thomas, Michaelan Benjamin, and Kevin Connor, aka Bungo Joe. Thank you, the audience, for being here with us. Thanks to Clean Stream for live streaming for us tonight, KCN for videotaping tonight, and all of the listening ears. Thank you for being here and being a part of the debut of SoulSpeak. Stay tuned, keep your ears and your eyes open for more from Anguilla Writers Association.
Thank you, Rosanna. I'm taking the microphone from her because I want to thank her for her poetry. I don't think I heard you thank yourself. And Joanne for reading Mr. Carty's poem. And I'd also like to make a plug because I see Dr. Banks here for the Maliohana Poetry Competition. For the 2025 competition, the impetus, the thought process is me mother say. So you need to start writing. I hope that this evening has whetted your appetite. The deadline is the 31st of March. You can pick up the entry forms at the public library. Anybody 8 years and up can participate. So get writing. I think I might enter. All of us should. Wouldn't that be great if everybody here wrote a poem entitled Me Mother Say? Because you know your mother is always telling you something. Whether it's good, it's always good. Yeah, so you need to write your poems, Lawrence. Definitely. So thank you all very much, and I'll give you back to Rosanna. Oh, okay, we're done.
The bar is still open, kitchen is still open. Enjoy the rest of what La atmosphere has to offer. Thank you and good night.